Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome for this very special video of my favorite moments about my whole USA trip plus a little bit of Canada. So for the people who complain about, oh, you didn't even spend a day in Canada, I actually got the chance to go to Canada because it was a USA trip. I made it to Canada even though it was kind of short, obviously, but I still, I made it. So don't worry, Canadian followers, I will definitely come back. Actually, it's my next big trip probably. I am 99% sure of that, so just stay tuned. I have a lot of things to say. This whole trip was amazing, wonderful. I again thank you guys for all your help, financial, obviously. I got a lot of help from you guys when you learned that I was going to the States. You made it happen. So thank you again very much. Thank you also for all your great recommendations. Obviously, when you're going to a big country like the USA, there's a lot to see. Obviously, it's hard to make the first choice, like where to go first, what to do, what to see. Obviously, we never have enough time to check everything and all. So yeah, just thank you for that because it helped me a lot throughout the whole trip. And a big shout out to my friend who brought me everywhere and who was my companion for this trip. The first thing that I really loved about this trip was to be in an actual speaking English country. Finally, I was around English people, hearing English from TV, radio, everywhere, and that is something I really was looking for. And for 17 days exactly, but I guess 2 good weeks being in an English speaking environment felt really good because in my head it's everything but French. I speak a little bit of Spanish, Korean, Japanese, some words like that, but a lot of English, when I speak to myself, because I do speak to myself. I know it's weird, but I do kind of everything in English. I even write in English everywhere. French is I have to learn French again, to be honest. I'm pretty bad at conversation in French because I'm only saying stuff, thing, using that kind of words. I have to relearn the vocab. I know it's weird, but anyway, it was just really nice to finally be around that. It felt good. It felt comfortable, and I was really looking forward to that. So that's the main thing. I was so glad and so that I liked a lot. So I did a little. I wrote down a lot of things to make this video a little bit more organized. I'd say I like to be organized. Anyway, so finally being in English-speaking country, the second main thing that I loved, and then I'm gonna go into specifics, is obviously that everything was novelty, different, new, even though it's kind of the same, humanly the same. There is roads, there is car, there are roads, there are cars and all, shops, people, everything is different from Europe in general and especially from France. So just that kind of novelty, I think you say, I'm not sure about that word, but yeah, I really love that because when you go into another country, you expect changes, differences. I mean, at least I do, and that's what I love the most. That's how I can say I'm exploring things because things are different, and I don't know them. And yeah, that's what I love the most. Yeah, so yeah, I said lots of cultures to explore, of places to see, a lot of museums, lots of cultures in the States. Even though it's a very young country, there's a lot of things to see because a lot of things happened, obviously. The country is vast and everything is different from state to state, so it's just amazing. Even the Antietam Memorial was very interesting. I mean, it actually was one of the most interesting places for me to see. A lot of things to explore. That's for sure. What did I wrote next? You may know that I'm a natural lover. I love animals, I love nature, and I think the States has a lot of amazing things around nature. First of all, I saw a lot of different animals, from dogs to raccoon. Finally, that Saturday, a lot of deer, you don't say deers, squirrels, I mean the different type of birds, just a lot of animals. And throughout the whole trip, each time I'm seeing an animal, it makes my day. I'm just so happy. So I love that. It adds a lot of joy to my trip. It added a lot of joy to my trip. And also nature, seeing the colors of the leaves change was marvelous, was really beautiful, and all those kind of mountains and just yeah, you guys, I mean, it's such a huge country you guys have. Like when it's a forest, it's a huge forest. When it's a mountain, it's like dozens of them, you know. So I just really love that, and I didn't even see that much of the country, but I was amazed, and I really loved that about my trip, nature and animal. Then I gotta put that right at the beginning, even though I've been talking for a long time already. People being nice, people being smiling at me, that I really loved. You know, when people in France ask me about my trip, like, oh, how was it? What did you love the most? And oh, you know, when I'm not talking about places, no, which I'm gonna talk about in a minute, the first thing I say is, people are freaking nice over there. Like, I wish French people were like that. You know, I shouldn't compare, obviously, but when you're used to a country, or you know, the type of people, you know, like when you're used to French people, I guess I would say, and you go to another country and people are much nicer, you can, like, you have to compare. Obviously, you're like, oh man, if you know, if people were like that around here, it would be a lot more, it will be better, honestly. Let's just say that. But yeah, American people have something, I don't know what it is, but it's a more like an open-mindedness, or just more, yeah, openness, une ouverture, I guess that's how you say that I just really appreciate it. And then, you know, the fact that they smile a lot at you, and they're just being nice to you, you know, and I love that. And I do want to come back to States, mainly because being around nice people feels good, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a huge point for me, and a huge, like, you know, thumbs up about the States that I experienced, that I love the most. Oh yeah, I also got to meet two of you guys during this trip, and obviously that was one of the, you know, my favorite moments of this whole trip was to meet two of you guys, because it was amazing to finally being able to connect with you, obviously, and also, you know, meet you. And then, I mean, we've been talking after this trip, but yeah, I mean, that was really amazing to, you know, the feeling of being with people who really care. I mean, you know, I get this feeling, obviously with FrenchTastic and all, but when you meet people in your life and you see, you know, the way they look at you and they care, and they're like so happy to see you, and like, oh, you know, that's great. You know, it's I kind of love that feeling, obviously. Then I wrote, oh yeah, baseball and football game, because those moments, I loved them a lot, even though, you know, it was, I mean, I did not amazingly enjoy them or whatever. It was just very nice to finally have those experiences, going to a football game, going to a baseball game, because it's very American and it's very not French. So I really loved both of those games. You know, going to this very cultural thing was amazing, because it's so huge, it's big, everything is big, huge, pricey, you know, but people are just so, yeah, I really love those two games, definitely, yeah. It's on my list. All the new food I gotta try. I love food. I so love food. Getting to try all those new food was amazing. Or not even, you know, try them, just seeing and observing on the shops, on the stores. Oh, you get that kind of food. Oh, there's that. Oh, that kind of thing exists. You know, it was very, very great. And I just loved thinking that, you know, food is just so big. You know what I mean? You gotta eat if you want to live. And I just so much love food that it was really great. Food took a big part of my trip, obviously, and I ate a lot of food, that's for sure. You saw that on the video, guys. The videos. Oh yeah, I know, it's not what created my pancreatitis. I got a lot of comments about that. It's not that at all. It could have been, definitely, but especially because I changed. I mean, it was a lot more, you know, fatter than what I used to eat, obviously. But yeah, it was not that at all. I can actually eat whatever I want. I guess my body takes it pretty well, probably because I'm young. But anyway, food definitely took a big place on that trip. And one of my favorite things when I talk about people about my trip is like, the food, guys. If you could eat that, taste that, experience this taste, you know, because there's a lot of things that obviously we don't have in France, and it's kind of difficult to recreate. So yeah, food. I love food. I'm getting hungry. Then I'm gonna share with you my favorite places, favorite things I did, and favorite nights. So from the whole trip, it was a USA trip, you know. I went to the USA and I got to go to Canada for one day. And it ended up that from the whole trip, my favorite thing I did was in Canada. It was in Niagara Falls, favorite place ever, probably because I'm a natural lover and also because it's majestic and wonderful. This place is just wow. And my favorite night was also in Canada. It was the fact that I went to sleep. I fell asleep looking at the Niagara Falls and all those lights, and it was just amazing. It was my favorite moment of the whole trip, honestly. It was in Canada, even though it was a USA trip. That's kind of weird. But as for the USA, my favorite place I went to was the Air and Space Museum. Well, my favorite place for the Air and Space Museum. It was wow, guys. It was fantastic. This place is amazing. I really want to go back and spend more time there, spend more hours, learn more about all those planes and all, because I think I've mentioned it before, but my craziest dream is to fly, not in a plane or like a bird. I actually dream a lot that I fly in the air. Those are my favorite dreams. Sometimes I'm actually conscious of it. It's amazing. I know it's crazy and all, but it's that. So when I took my first plane ever, I was going to see my friend Jeff in Cyprus. So it was a rather small plane, but still, kind of a big plane for me. And I cried because I was just so happy to finally be in the air and being above the sky, the clouds, and see all that. It has been a dream of mine since I don't remember, a long time, and each time I'm taking the plane, it's just, oh man, it's amazing the feelings I have. I don't know what I have with that. Maybe I was a bird in my former life, I don't know, but it's just amazing. So yeah, that place, Air and Space, oh my god, the space area was just amazing. So many things to see, and then kind of amazing that you get to see so close what's going so far, you know what I mean? I love that place. And my favorite night in the USA was the medieval times. Oh, man, that place is amazing. I highly recommend medieval times. They have several spots around the States, not many, but I think they're doing. So the one I went to was Maryland, and I think they have one in like Texas, maybe one in Cali, places like that. But wow, medieval times. Probably also because there were horses. I loved the fact that nature-related animals, and also because it was awesome. Honestly, medieval times is amazing. My favorite nights, from the States. Yeah, those are where my favorite nights, my favorite places from the trips, from the whole trip, and from the States. A little shout out to New York City and Washington, because wow, as much as I'm a nature lover, I was amazed and fascinated by New York City and by Washington because of all the places you have to visit, like culturally speaking, all those museums, and it's the capital, White House, all that. It was fascinating. And New York City because wow, it's a big city, a lot of opportunities over there. It's just fascinating, honestly. So yeah, I really love this place too. All right, and yeah, there is a little things that I wanted to, I guess, highlight from this whole trip. I think you say Sheetz. Those shops, those little shops when you can get where you can get gas and food and all that. I just love those shops, honestly. I think it's because of how convenient they are and how comfortable I felt each time I was entering a Sheetz or like a similar place. I just love them. When I mentioned something about inédit, about the States, to French people, I'm talking about those places because I really felt it's amazing. You can still get gas, get almost everything over there, like drinks, food, things you need. They all have restrooms. It's just so convenient. I just love them. Then there is Shenandoah River. Obviously, it was West Virginia. Was a place I really wanted to go because of the song Country Road. I've always listened to this song by Olivia Newton-Jones, not the original one, but that one, for a very long time, and I really love this song a lot. And I can't believe I actually went to West Virginia, Shenandoah River, Blue Ridge Mountains. It's just amazing. So yeah, it's something I really love about this trip is I went there on my first trip to the USA. Yeah, I'm happy to say that, I went there. Mustangs, I saw one yesterday. So we're in France. It's very rare to see one. I saw one yesterday. It made my day, guys. It made my day. It was a GT, one of the new ones, probably 2016, I guess, 17. It was like red, intense red color. So I was really amazed at how many Mustangs I saw there. And you know how much I love this car. It's my dream car. The day I'm gonna have one is gonna be my baby. I think I'm gonna do everything, you know. Probably gonna edit my videos in the Mustang and sat by it, eat in the Mustang, do everything in it. I just love those cars, and then being able to see this beautiful car everywhere in the States, I mean everywhere I went to was amazing. And I was seeing dozens of them every day. It made me so happy. Yeah, definitely one of the things I love the most. When I was in Baltimore, we visited a submarine, and I had to say it was one of the most fascinating thing I did on this trip. You know, obviously, I mean, it's not every day you got to visit and go into a submarine. It was amazing. I think fascinating is really the word, because it's a submarine from World War II. So everything is, you know, from back then. And wow, the word is wow and fascinating. Yeah, really. You know, many people probably are not interested in that kind of thing. I don't know. But I guess I'm someone who really loves everything that's, you know, cars, motorcycle, boats, planes. I just love those engines, vehicles. I don't know how to say that. So yeah, going to submarine from that time was amazing. Two last things that I wrote are New York City during the night. When we drove from Baltimore to New York City, we arrived, it was nighttime, and seeing the city, you know, the lights during the night was amazing. I saw the moon like I've never seen before, and it was amazing too. But I think I have something with lights in night, you know, during the night. I really love fireworks. I really love driving into a city during night. I really love the Niagara Falls during the night because of the lights. I don't know what I have with that, but lights during the night, I think it's beautiful. You know, a city as big as New York City during the night with all those colors, obviously for the environment it's not good and all, but it was beautiful, and I really love that. I don't know what I have with that, but yeah, lights during the night was amazing, and New York City was really beautiful. And the last thing that I wrote is looking at the map and seeing my position on a new continent. I took, guys, so many screenshots of the Maps app on my phone, you know, everywhere I went, just to have proof that I was, you know, there, obviously, but just because it was so amazing. You know, I was like, oh my god, you know, like my map is showing the position that I am in another continent. You know, Europe and France is all the way over there, but I am here. I mean, I am there, and just that feeling of being in a new continent for the first time and seeing that, yeah, I am, you know, was amazing. I'm getting all excited, all fired up just thinking about that. But yeah, it was amazing. As you may know, guys, I was a little sick a few days ago. I mean, I'm still kind of recovering. I'm a lot better, so it's alright. I just have to be careful on my diet. But all that to say that I still am putting on hold still my big trips, like Canada, USA, going back there. Very soon I'm gonna have my results from my stomach and all stuff. So I will probably have finally conclusion of what happened and green light for that. I don't know if you say that in English, to plan the big trips. I'll be back soon, guys, definitely. I'm gonna leave you with a map which covers everything that I did, and you're gonna see it's not a lot. I actually did so little in this. I mean, I did so many things, but so little of the whole country in those 17 days. So I'm definitely coming back very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.